Alright, I know why you're here. You want a tactic for your lower league side. Generally, everyone wants a 4-4-2, two big strikers.
Have it.
Play it in the channels. No. I have proven it can be done. We are doing total football in the non-league. We're in the Vanarama National League with my main save on the channel. We are talking 60% possession. We are talking 90% pass completion. Over 46 games, we are averaging 725 passes per game. Put that into context. Manchester City in this season's Premier League are only averaging 634. So another 90 plus passes a game. We are technically better than Man City. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few little stats. I'm going to show you the tactic, a few little clips. Download links to the tactic down below. By all means, download it, plug it in, let me know down in the comments or even in my Discord how this tactic does for you. Days of boring 4-4-2s in the lower league are over. Total football in the non-league is here. Let's go. Okay guys, so here we are. What I'd like you to do, first of all, smash a like on today's video. Muchly appreciated. If you are new, subscribe. That would be bloody lovely. All right, so here we are. This is my Athletic Club York save. This is a creator club that I've done. We're only allowed to sign players from Yorkshire or players that have come through the youth system. We're in the 7th season now. We've been in the playoffs 4 seasons. 5 seasons in a row. Sunday's episode, if you are new to the channel, will be a playoff, hopefully a playoff final. So the idea is that I wanted to create a philosophy. We started with a bit of Bielsa ball, a little bit crazy, a little bit wacky. We've turned it down a little bit and we've tried to dominate and get these possession stats and dominate games as much as possible. And as you can see, we have done that. There you go, 90% pass completion. Passes completed, the most in the league as well. The next one behind us, 29,000. We've scored, another 4,000 on top of that. Plus, we've played a game less. Chances created, the most in the division. Shots for, most in the division. Shots on target, most in the division. Possession lost as well, the least amount of possession lost in the league. Only 46 goals conceded as well, which I would take, especially with sort of like the attacking lineup, only 1 per game. There are a few little stats. There is a pass map as well from our most recent performance, 8-5-1 win over Boston to finish off the season. As you can see, we have a very, very unique, not a unique, but a very, very good role that I have found in FM22. It is the halfback. So we've got a halfback in, as you can see, some attacking play from our fullbacks. We've got a striker here that is linking play a little bit. Players running beyond. That there, number 27, is a box-to-box midfielder. That there is a central midfielder on attack. So we're getting players beyond, drawing players out, trying to work sort of like underlaps as well. We're going to go into the tactic right now and see how I have put this total football tactic together. Okay, guys, so here it is. Total non-league. We are starting, it's basically a 4-3-3 with a sitter, 2 wide players and a striker. I've modelled and changed the role at various points throughout this save, trying to get a balance of a pressing forward. Obviously, at this level, no real striker likes to complete forward on support. I think if you're going to use this at a higher level, a complete forward on support would be probably even better than a pressing forward on support. But I found a nice little balance with that. Okay, so first one is sweeper keeper on attack. Right back, complete wing back on support. 2 very solid central defenders. What I'm asking them to do is literally nothing apart from can they head it, can they kick it, can they tackle, and can they run a little bit in non-league, pace of 10 and pace of 12. Left back, complete wing back on support. We've then got a half back. Now the idea is with the half back, this is why a role that I do, because we're playing with a complete wing back, it just means that we sometimes start play with a back 3. If we play up against a front 2, it means we can get a 3v2 in. And I think having Osterfields or whoever plays a halfback in there, it just gives us the opportunity to get our wing backs, our full backs a little bit further up the pitch. He drops in, then the centre backs then split a little bit, and it then encourages the 2 wing backs to push further forward. Box to box midfielder, this is the best. If you're playing a midfield trio at any standard in FM22, this is the midfield trio of roles you want. Halfback, box-to-box midfield, central midfielder on attack. My central midfielder on attack has scored 29 goals, all from centre midfield. No set pieces either, I don't think. Oh, he scored one penalty. He scored box-to-box midfielder, 6 goals, 13 assists in the league. No further player instructions apart from here on the halfback. We've got take more risks, because I'm encouraging him just to play with it a little bit. We did start with a little bit. My total football with Bielsa was a little bit of sort of like a register in there. Obviously doesn't suit lower league. So we've got a halfback in, and I'm just asking him to take more risks when possible. I haven't found too much of a problem. He has got excellent pass percentage ratio. My main halfback has a pass completion in the Vanarama over 38 appearances of 95%. So that just shows you the quality of passing he possesses. And his passing is 10. Okay, so it's the role that suited him. Obviously, he's very good physically, but passing-wise, he's very good at keeping the ball. Left-hand side, inverted winger on attack, roam from position. Inverted winger on support, roam from position. We're trying to express ourselves, be a little bit more fluent rather than these just hugging the touchline and naturally cutting in. They're getting in these half spaces a lot more, in particular as well. Going beyond, Bridge in particular because he's on attack, going beyond because we've got that pressing forward on support. Now the idea is I've put him on support instead of attack because I want him to hold up the ball. I want him to drop in a little bit and support play, bounce passes off. And then we're getting runners, the two midfielders, the two wide players getting in and beyond. All right, that is the formation. If we take a little look at the individual instructions, obviously the mentality we've gone attacking. I just found at certain times in the games, positive mentality. We just were a little bit too pretty with it, and just knocking it up to attacking has made a massive difference in terms of getting more bodies into the box, getting more clear-cut efforts on goal. It just seems to speed up the play a little bit, and we seem to be able to work teams a little bit better. In possession, shorter passing, we want to dictate the play, keep the ball as much as possible. I'm really keen on making sure our possession stats are really, really high. Yes, you could say possession stats are not important, but I think if you're playing a total football tiki-taka, you want to kind of keep the ball as much as possible. So having shorter passing obviously works. Work ball into the box. I'm going to show you a couple of clips in a minute. Just purely like Man City do. Couple of quick passes, getting fullbacks in, getting underlaps in as well, and little cuts across the 6-yard box for tap-ins, headers, that sort of thing. Be more expressive. We want to go out and express ourselves. That's a little bit, I don't often use that, but I've decided just to give us a little bit of an overkill. I really wanted us, in particular, the centre forward and the two wide players to really roam around and interchange. So I thought having that on would help. An underlap on the right. Now, I only did that because at the start of the season, we were playing a winger on this side. However, because Holgate, our right back, was doing a pretty good job on that, we've kept it. Now, you could argue that you could have both sides, but we've just got it on one. Right, future Trekkies here. I'd just like to point out the underlap as well. More important, I can't believe I missed it out. I think I'll talk about it later on in the video in the highlights, but the underlap is there for that central midfielder on attack to really bomb on. And I think that's the reason why he's scored 20 plus goals this season. So yeah, well done, future Trek, for picking up on this. Wide attacking width. Obviously, I've said working the ball into the box. In transition, counter press, counter, total football. We want to get that ball back as quickly as possible. Take short kicks. We're trying to distribute to a playmaker if we have one. What I'm trying to do and force that is I'm trying to get the ball into the half back a little bit more. Okay, so when the defenders split wide, fullbacks go up, I'm trying to get the ball into the half back and see if we can beat that initial press. Take short kicks, obviously. Out of possession, use the offside trap, much high line engagement and much higher defensive line. Very much of an overkill. That's why the sweeper keeper on attack is very important. Force opposition outside, so we're trying to get nice and narrow when we can, so we can get teams to play around us rather than through us. Marking and tackling, use tight and marking, much more trigger press, a little bit of an overkill. I did have get stuck in on it. OGs of the channel will know that I'm quite fond of that, but I was getting too many red cards, so I've taken that off. Opposition instructions in the positions is pretty crazy. We have got tighter marking on a lot of those instructions. Obviously, the wing backs, the midfielders, the wide players, the number 10, and also the central striker. So we're just trying to encourage when the ball is played in these areas. Yes, we trigger press, but at the same time, we've got players in those areas to hunt the ball down and be a little bit closer so we can press, we can get the ball back a little bit quicker. Trigger press, I've tried to put the goalkeeper on as not to press. That's just so they don't constantly just chase the goalkeeper down. It works a little bit. Obviously, we've got a much more high line of engagement, so naturally the players will still do it a little bit, but I just think it maybe just helps us stop. It helps us to stop doing it all the time. We're trying to win balls in key areas, so we're trying to force the play out wide. So we're not trigger pressing any of the centre-half roles, but as soon as that ball goes out to the fullbacks, we're hunting the play down with either the central striker coming across or the attacking wide players going in and pressing. And the same thing as well, we're hunting down the wing-back just in case they're playing with back threes, and we're also hunting down the DM just in case they do what I do and play into sort of like the number 6 role. And show onto foot, we've got them on opposite, so we've got our right back. We want to show our right back onto his left foot so we can come inside. We want him to come inside to into that body of where we've got 3 midfielders and we're nice and tight. We've got that block, hopefully that nice spine down the middle, so we're trying to show players inside. And I've got that on both wing backs as well. Wing back right and left, obviously opposite foot. Not weaker foot, opposite foot, because sometimes you might get a right back who is left-footed and his weaker foot would naturally be right-footed, so that will show him down the line. We don't want that, so make sure you've got show onto the opposite foot to which the side they are playing. Very important. And then striker, I've got him showing onto his weaker foot just so we can try and upset him. Tighter marking, so when the ball is cleared out, what you'll find with this tactic, if you've got it working well, is that you have wave and wave and wave of attack. I want tighter marking, so my centre-half goes right in, so any ball's cleared out, he's not got time then to get the ball down, turn, work a channel, or even hold up the play, bring other people in and give the team the opportunity to either to have a breather or to counter-attack on us. So having tighter marking, very important. And I've only got that on the central striker, so a lone striker. If it's a right or left, I haven't bothered, but we want to make sure we isolate that lone striker as much as possible. Okay, there is the tactic. Tactic links down below takes you over to FM Scout. We've got the Steam download as well, or the direct download you put in your folder. I'm going to show you a few little juicy clips just to finish and show you how Total Football works, including this one, which was a 26 goal move in combining everybody in the team. All right, so that wasn't bad. One of the best, probably the best goals that I've ever scored. That's in non-league, guys, so it shows you it can be done. All right, I'm going to show you a few little clips just to finish. Okay, first little highlight is a little break up in play. I'll just stop it right there. There's our compact shape. So we've got a back four. We've got our midfielders in. Very, very tight. There is Mudrinsky, I think. No, Osterfield, who's playing as my halfback. We're very, very narrow look. We've drove the player inside. Their left midfielder was cut right into the middle. We've brought the play up and then we're off. We're counter-attacking. There you go. There is the wing-back. Bridge likes to come in. We're asking him to the roam, so he's obviously coming in quite narrow as well. And we then, because we've won the ball, we've been narrow, we've been compact, we need to get a little bit of width. Our wide player, our wing-back offers that. Bridge is doing quite well at dribbling. We get a nice little move down the line, and then it's, can we find a pass? We get a little bit of luck, but the movement's there. It could have been a little pass. We often get those little slide passes, and we often get sort of like tap-ins in the 6-yard box. Once again, two wide players combining. Bridge then goes onto the underlap this time. Brilliant move. There's your cutback. These are like Manchester City goals out there. You can imagine sort of like a Sterling at the back stick, tapping that, and that was obviously my right midfielder. And then once again, we're working at the other side. Just balls in the box. Plenty of ball. Even though we're asking it to work in the box, don't forget it does occasionally put balls in. So if you've got a big striker like we have, Phillips is like 6'2", it does work in your favour. You still get those balls in the 6-yard box for him to head in. And then here we go. Here's the movement that I was talking about with the pressing forward on support. He's just dropped off a couple of yards. Linking play really well. Then we've got a runner who's attacking the space, the inverted winger attacking the space on attack. Getting into the byline, cutting across back, and there is Phillips, my pressing forward on support. He started the move, he played that beautiful pass into the touchline, and then he is there on the end of it. By the way, free kick to finish, wasn't bad. To give us a 5-1 win to finish the season, but you can see the sort of like the Manchester City moves, the passes, the low crosses, working the channels, a striker, you know, that maybe that even that pressing forward then on support was kind of linking the play a little bit like a false 9. And once again, getting bodies in the box, quality in wide areas as well. This is our inverted winger on attack having a really good run. Person at the back stick as well. What I think you want in these wide areas, anyone who's quite big, physical, maybe a 6-foot winger, inverted winger would help, especially with balls coming in. And there we go. That is my central midfielder on attack. That tremendous underlapping run. Remember, on that right-hand side, we've got that underlapping run, not just for the fullback, but also for that central midfielder to really attack. And here we go, boys. This is what I'm talking about with the wave and wave after attack. We're trying to isolate this defender as much as possible. We get the ball down and we just play. There's my halfback. We just keep it. We knock it. But the tempo's pretty good. We're moving them about. We're going from side to side. But we're being patient with it. Couple of really quick passes just to break things up. Look, moving off the line. Striker getting involved. Wing-backs getting involved. Pass, 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 pass. Half-back there a little bit higher. Pressing forward on support. Now, what that does is, if we just bring it back, because the pressing forward comes off the line, look. So he's my pressing forward at the moment. Banks, what he has done is sucked in those defenders and leaves that gap. And then what we've got is then that inverted winger. Now, if he was a winger, he would probably try and get round the outside of him. But because he's an inverted winger, he's trying to cut in. And he's just now going to run into that space that the centre forward has created for him. All right, just a few little clips just to show you. I think the underlap, has really helped the amount of goals our central midfielder on attacking. So I know I said that in the tactics in terms of I was using it primarily for a winger, but at the same time, what we want is not to stop. We want to encourage that underlapping run still from the central midfielder on attack, because you'll still have your inverted winger cutting in. It's often sort of like Mahrez, if you imagine Mahrez cutting in off the right, and that Kevin De Bruyne movement where he sort of like gets into these areas here in the penalty box and looking for either cutbacks or shooting himself. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. I have definitely proven you can do total football in non-league. All right, guys, take care. Wish me all the luck. I'm just about to play one playoff game. Hopefully we can get through to the final. That will be in Sunday's episode of this Let's Play series. Go check it out. Videos for that every Sunday, 7 p.m. Hopefully this season, after 4 consecutive seasons in the Vanarama National League, 4 consecutive playoff heartbreaks, this is our season. And doing it, playing beautiful football. All right, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. See you later.